Hey guys, it's 12 a.m. midnight, and I want to welcome you ahead of time, if you aren't already on, to your inbound marketing webinar series. Now, something that's a little different about this is that it's at midnight. Now, when's the last time you had a webinar that actually started right at midnight? Why would a webinar start at midnight, right? I want you to really think about that. Think deeply about that, right? Have you ever been on a webinar that started at midnight? And if you haven't, ask yourself why or why not. That said, I want to introduce you to Bowie Madu & Co. That's the company that I own, that I've created and established in order to be able to inspire people to inspire people. To give you a little bit of background about myself, I'm an engineer by practical training and exposure in the professional field. I'm also an urban planner. But after about 10 years of working in those two fields combined and doing a few other things in between, in the construction field, I've recognized that all that matters to me is inspiring people to inspire people. And if you're someone who, of course, finds yourself in positions where you want to be inspired or be inspired so that you can inspire others, I want to welcome you home. So that said, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background on myself, and just, to, I guess, give you some faith and confidence as far as the value and the validity of the work that I've done in the world. Of course, I've been featured in the Chicago Tribune, iHeartRadio, Alani Magazine, and Urban Genius Magazine this year, right? These past two magazines actually this year that have done some articles on me and some of the impact that I've had and I'm having in the world. But that said, I'm also a guest lecturer and have guest lectured at the State University of New York at Buffalo, as well as the University of Illinois at Chicago. Right? And so those are just some of the places that I've impacted the lives of upcoming entrepreneurs and students who are in the STEM fields and business fields. Okay, so that said, I want to just cut right to this. If you're watching this video, you may be at a point, or maybe getting to a point, or want to get to a point where you want to know, what is this all about? So this is a three-part series, right, of webinars: Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, depending on when you see them. And by the time you see it, maybe it's available really on cue, right, for anyone to watch it and whenever at their own leisure, right? But the first round are on particular days of the week. And the first thing that you need is going to be option one. So option one is your ultimate funnel design worksheet. Now, just to give you an example of why this is important, I want to give you an example, give you an idea of what your customers are going through. So I want you to imagine, even you yourself, right? When you are trying to buy a product, trying to figure things out, what do? Sometimes you read a blog, sometimes you research that product, sometimes, someone got you an email, or someone sent you you saw something pop up on someone's Facebook timeline, and then you do some other thing. You look at product reviews, right? Or in some cases, somebody else has written, the product review. But at the end of the day, this is a lot of noise for you to get to what you want as far as transacting with your customers, and for your customers to actually transact with you. So what would it be like for it to be a straight beeline, right, to getting right from here all the way here? So if that's something that excites you, right, stick to the end. You'll hear about option two, which I think you're really going to be interested in, because that will help you figure out how to erase all of that. Okay, so that said, let's head over to option one. So option one here, if you are that perfect ideal candidate that's up at midnight watching this, or will be up at midnight watching this video series, the webinar series, what you want to look at is, what is that option one product, right? So that option one product, it's actually an engineered worksheet here that gives you, if I can zoom in, if this is working correctly, zooms in and gives you what your customers' experiences, right? And their behavioral state and what their experiences. And their behavioral states are going to range from shame to enlightened, okay? And there's a digital property that they're going to be seeing your content or information on. And there's a time span that you want them to take an action, and then there's links that need to be in place for them to click on in order to take certain actions, right? And then there's certain things that you expect them to do after they click, right? This document guides you step to step to step to step on what you should be thinking about, what you should be considering every single step of the way, right? And of course, there's testing for some of this stuff, right? And that's where most people get lost, right? They don't know necessarily how to test, what to test, or how to isolate things and test. So there's plenty of gurus out there to give you all of that, right? That's not what this is about. This is about you getting smarter about knowing what you're supposed to be doing, right? So that when you do get those other products, you know exactly what you need to be doing and how you need to be doing it versus being lost in a digital dumping field, right, of product. All right. So that said, you get to walk through all of this and look. I won't get into it right now. So that's option 1, right? The Ultimate Funnel Design Worksheet totally walks you through each step of the way as far as what your customer, right here. Let me just kind of zoom back in there. Yeah, what your customer is experiencing, right? So you want to eliminate all of this noise and get them straight to transacting with you. So that said, that's option 1, okay? So now, for those of you who are, already, okay, all right, given the tone of this is actually something that I should probably take seriously. I want to share with you a little bit about option 2. The thing about option 2 is that you're going to get an opportunity to get not only just the download you just looked at, but you're also going to get the inbound marketing implementation worksheet. Now, I want to tell you the problem that this solves, right? So the first thing you should know is that there's a problem in that when you are, depending on where you are in the marketing, we're at different places. Some of you don't even know who this person is for you. You don't know if they're your target market. You don't know if they're part of your niche. You don't know what their persona is. You just bought a product. You want to sell it. You don't even know, who you resonate with, right? You don't know how to search keywords. I mean, there's just a lot going on, right? And you're just trying to get it all together with whatever product you have and figure out what to do so that, again, you can have someone go straight here. So with that said, option 2 is the Ultimate Inbound Marketing Implementation Sheet. And that kicks off here, where you can begin by beginning to identify who your ideal customer is, right? So, first, whether you're on a daily call or a webinar, I'm just going to add that here, okay? Whoops. Whether you're on a daily call or a webinar, okay. Can't spell webinar. Hilarious. It tells you don't have to know how to spell to be a marketer. So whether you're be on a daily call or webinar, the bottom line is that you need to have your keyword search. You need to figure out what your things like your syndication methods, what pages on your blog you want people to come to, what graphics you should be picking that are consistent with your customer's journey, right? So in inbound marketing, there's 4 phases: attraction, conversion, closing, and delighting, right? And if you don't know anything about any of these stages, this is exactly a really great reason why you should probably listen in and find out. Over here are the dates when these things should be happening, right? So you can check it off or put an X in here or color it all the way through, right? So you just know things are done, okay? So that as your marketing is coming together, you feel like you're making progress, right? Now, remember I said something about knowing who your customer is? So here's like a sheet that's here that you can fill in based on who your customer is, right? This is called your persona document. Then there's like your keywords, right? The words you should be using to attract your customers. For those of you who want to learn about Facebook advertising, there's this worksheet that totally will help you know exactly what to go for as far as how to set your campaign up so you can, when you don't get the conversions, you know exactly what to do to tweak it. And then there's, things like your productivity planner, being able to create and identify what you should be doing on certain hours, right? On certain days, and make sure that you are absolutely being your most productive self, right, as you're marketing. And then, of course, there's this final closeout, which is that buyer's journey. And there's tons of other things that are in here, okay? I could go on and share with you about, the email marketing templates that I use and have used, and the value of that as far as planning and productivity. There's a lot here, right? I don't want to kill you with the details, but I just want you to know this is what comes with all of what I just walked you through is option 2. Option 1 is just this page. Option 2 comes with this, comes with your buyer persona, comes with, of course, just the documentation and the framework that you'll need in order to be extraordinarily productive, okay? So that's option 2. So that said, here's the thing about these 2 options. If you want option 2, that's the one it all. You want to get it all, okay? And before the webinar, right, or before you get on your first webinar, whichever one it is, that option is available to you currently at a specific price point, right? And it's going to be kind of irresistible because after you're watching this, it's not going to be that same price point. Okay, it's actually going to go up, right? Now you can get this option 2 document so that you're ready on the webinars, right? Or you can use option 1. Option 1 is perfect too, right? But the only difference between option 1 is free, but option 2 gives you the opportunity to actually be ahead of the game, so that you don't have to, when the webinar series is over, have to pay any more than you need to get it. Now I'm that confident because I just know it's that valuable, right? I don't want to sound arrogant or anything like that, but what you'll see, and it's not about the technology, it's about the thought behind these documents that you'll discover that will help you feel so much better and so much more confident about what you need to do to market. So that said, if you are an I want it all, I want to say congratulations and thank you in advance for getting it all. If you are someone who wants option 1, go ahead and click the button below that you'll see, and make sure you click on that option 1 button. That's just download the worksheet, right? It's usually a big you can't mistake it button down below, and you click on that, and that'll give you access to your option 1 download. If you want the I want it all option, right, which you just saw, you'll see that, and I want you to click on that and make sure you get that at that special offer before you get on your first webinar, right? After this webinar series is over, it's not going to be the same. So that said, have a look, explore, kick it around, and we'll see you on the webinar, right? Or on some of our other post midnight webinar trainings. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Talk to you soon.